Uh, Recording in progress. Okay. One thing that I do want to do before we get started, I do want to have this recorded, but this won't be a part of the session. But when Isaac sent that message to the group chat, it got me thinking, like, this is a good moment for us to kind of sit back for a second and just kind of recap briefly what has transpired to get the game to this point, because we are now entering into our fourth calendar year of running this campaign. And like, of course, I've got all of this shit memorized because I made it up and I obsess over it. It's like my outlet for my hyper focus. So like, I don't expect you all to keep track of everything to the same extent. The exception being Christian, who, if I forget something, I just go to him and like, hey, do you remember what happened here? And he's like, blah, blah, blah. But no, like all the rest of you, like normal people, unlike Christian and me.
Thanks.
I would, I think this is a good moment, and I don't want it to just be me like rotely going through everything and be like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. Like, I am going to start off, but I want to make this more of like an open thing. And even if this takes 15-20 minutes, I'm fine with that, because I think it's really easy to have forgotten some of the important things that have happened along the way up to this point. So I will start off, but please, I want you guys to jump in. I want you guys to kind of jump in, add to it if I say something that's not quite right, or if you have any questions about something that I didn't go over. This will be just kind of like a moment for us to stop and refresh. And it's actually kind of okay that Ed's going to be a little bit late getting on here, because technically he was not around for the early part of it. So that's okay. So one thing I do want to do is open up these notes, and I'm not going to read everything because, like I said, our from me saving the intros that I have read to y'all as we start sessions, I think we're up to 32 pages now.
I love that for us.
Yeah.
So did you? Are we doing the idea I did?
Oh yeah, you
the
were washing your hands from your little explosion there.
Grape juice incident.
The grape juice incident.
Grape juice incident of 23.
So we are just going to take a moment, Isaac, to just kind of step through very briefly what has happened, everything that has happened up until now.
Okay.
And I want this to be interactive. So if you have any questions, comments, anything you want to add, anything that doesn't sound quite right to you that you need to clarify, please just shout it out. But I'll start us off. So it began with Petra, Foss, Felix, and Xanthion arriving in Elmswain, having been sent there in search of gainful employment, each from their own separate sources. And I do expect you to know your character well enough to know in your backstory what started you on the path to the city that we
so we
started
can
in.
see it while we're talking about this.
That is a great idea.
Oh yeah.
So let's map of Northern Sangamet. No. Yeah. Map of Northern Sangamet. So we started off
here
in Elmswain. And what sent you all to Elmswain? Originally, the four of you came together and met each other. Met the first significant NPC that was met was Lokexius, who was the bartender at the House of Ill Decision. A few of the other major players that were met in Elmswain were the Reeve, who was a halfling by the name of, if anybody remembers this before I can look it up, I will give you double inspiration.
I was not here.
Yeah, you were not here.
Lock.
Let's see. So
Is that who you're talking about, Shannon?
who is it?
The owner of the Grizzled Grimlock?
No, that was Faisal Rumscorn.
Yeah.
Uh,
What was the question? Sorry, I had to step away for a sec.
that's all right. So yeah, you guys met and stayed at the Grizzled Grimlock, which was owned by an old retired adventurer named Faisal Rumscorn. And then as you came together and decided that you were going to be working together because of all basically knowing that you were going out for the same job opportunity to get employed as security for a caravan of goods going to Bright Hollow. You guys, the original four, took a note off of the job board posting in Elmswain to remove some raccoons from the attic of Batilda Bergdorf, which
Mhm.
upon meeting the elderly dwarven woman, realized that it was not raccoons in her attic. It was actually a shadow that Batilda Bergdorf had lured you into under the
It's
veil
easy.
of
It's easy to get them mixed up. It's easy to get them mixed up.
what's easy to get mixed up.
Shadows and
Raccoons
raccoons.
and shadows.
Shadows and raccoons.
Oh yeah. So
One's
anyway,
a 6 foot tall humanoid and lives on the wall, and the other one is a small, large rat.
mhm. So after dispatching the shadow, it was revealed that Batilda had lost her husband, who had also become a second shadow in the attic. In the aftermath of that, the party got wrapped up with the political dealings inside the city of Elmswain, meeting the Reeve, meeting the bailiff Morcana Cruff, meeting the captain of the guard, Avreg Rind. And through the job board, there was also a few other plot points that were uncovered, one of which being the missing daughter of what was her name, Christian? Do you remember?
Bailey's Foggywood.
Bailey's Foggywood.
Anna.
Her mother was looking for her. She had been seen in Sheridan on her way to Elmswain, but then never seemingly arrived in Elmswain. Let's see here. At about that point, the party met Morlo and Natari, who also were looking for employment. And in the process, also met, let's see here, session notes. Going all the way back here. Also, so there was the Dragonborn Kuiper, who ran the cooperage, the barrel making shop in Elmswain, which was a very lucrative business because Elmswain was a brewing town, so big need for barrels.
Did they make whiskey?
There were some, yes, because Elmswain was also known for being the only city in Sangamet that produces aquavita, which is whiskey.
Okay.
So there were some distilleries.
Is it flammable?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Let's see here. So we're up to,
Is it moonshine?
no, it's closest, it would be closest to either bourbon or like Scotch whiskey or Tennessee whiskey. It's all grain based. because they just basically started fiddling around with the stuff that was that they used to make beer and realized they could distill a stronger spirit from it. Okay, so then at about this point, there was another job taken to collect a bounty on some wolf ears by a local farmer, which Xanthion led the party to search.
Wolf ear stew.
And then come to find out that the wolves were actually just a ruse to get you guys into a forest clearing so I could unleash zombies on you. At this point, Emma joins the party, having wandered about the
Well, I joined
Feywild.
before the zombie ambush.
Right. Around the same time. It was before the zombie attack, but in the same plot point while the party was venturing into the woods.
Session
Emma,
2 or 3, I believe.
let's see here. Session 3. Yep. Okay. Oh, that's right, because you guys were looking for a missing townsperson by the name of Cy Bellington. You found him surrounded by a pack of wolves, but then Cy Bellington stood up as the first zombie that you guys encountered, and then more started coming out of the woods. After that, after dispatching the horde of zombies, there was, let's see here. You guys discovered the Kyotum's ointment on one of the zombies' remains, which had a tag marked Salvage Apothecary, which was the name of an apothecary in Elmswain. You also had the encounter with the centaurs that told you guys that there was a zombie affliction that was affecting their clan as well. Through the connection to salvage, the party met Ellie Hofbauer, who was the local herbalist who could create Kyotum's ointment, and it was determined that Kyotum's ointment does cure the zombie affliction.
Well, we knew it cured it because we put it on Emma. Remember?
That sounds plausible.
Because I remember she got bitten during the zombie ambush. And then the centaurs came out and Emma talked to them in Sylvan.
Correct. Then after returning back to Elmswain, the party realized that an attack had occurred inside of the city. Zombies had come out of Kuiper's cooperage. Kuiper had been arrested. Phocion went before the bailiff to plead for the Dragonborn to be released. You guys found out that they were running an underground kind of a clinic or infirmary for humanoids that were frowned upon or less broadly accepted in polite society. In that interaction, you guys were commissioned to go south to talk to Godimer Galyugar, because Morcana Cruff, the bailiff of Elmswain, believed that he was behind the goings on with the zombies because he was a known necromancer. So heading south to the Winding Spire, you guys met Godimer Galyugar, the half-orc necromancer who Foss tried to kill on first sight with a keg of ale.
No, I don't know if we ever actually specified this. Necromancy magic itself isn't illegal, correct?
Correct. It's frowned upon, but not illegal.
Okay. I remember Emma giving a "don't be racist" talk to Foss.
Yes. That was also when Foss came clean about being able to see his deceased family members, but did not
Yes.
reveal their backstory. Let's see here. So that gets us through session 10. Anything I'm missing or any other questions that anybody has?
I think I stabbed an old lady.
That
I was
was-
about to say,
Shadow fight.
Xanthion
That was
stabbed an old lady.
Batilda. That was Batilda Bergdorf. Yes, that is a thing that happened. Technically almost killed her, but she rolled a 20 on one of her death saves.
She got death saves.
Yeah, she was an important enough NPC to get death saves.
Cynthia
I-
committed homicide session 2.
Tried to.
So then around that time is when Petra met Devalor Detlev and signed a contract to perform at Verine Manor.
Was Shannon was Godimer Galligar the one who sounded like he was in Goodwill Hunting?
Yeah, he was
Okay.
the half-orc necromancer with the Brooklyn accent,
Okay, all right.
which I established after the fact was not an orc thing, it's a necromancer thing. You can only be a necromancer if you have that accent. Let's see here. Sessions 11 through 20.
It's required for the incantations.
What you talking about? It's just mainly to get into the Necromancer Academy.
The dead people don't understand you if you don't talk like that.
Yeah, well, no, they just fight back. You know, if you sound like this, they're too tough, and they just kind of say, "Okay, yeah, you can raise me from the dead. Why not?"
The lore.
So-
Necromancy isn't actually magic. It's just convincing the body to get the fuck up.
Yeah, like literally every necromantic spell just begins with, "Hey, what you doing?" Not a whole lot, apparently. Get off your lazy ass and do something. Jesus.
Okay. So it is around this time that Emma got her familiar, Tinky.
Oh God.
Oh my lord.
Yeah,
Poor
fuck.
memories.
That means it was around the time that I took a break from the campaign.
Yep, we are getting close to the point where you stepped out when you were first starting college.
And now I'm a dropout. Let's go.
Now
Hell
you're
yeah,
gonna get
Joy.
Bartram Harline was the halfling mayor's name, or the Reeves name, Bartram Harline. So because upon returning back from meeting Godimer Galligar at the Winding Spire, the party was then brought in front of the Reeve and the bailiff and kind of like debriefed a little bit about why didn't you tell us about the zombies that were just south of town when we asked you to keep us in the know about any other undead that you saw after dispatching the shadow in Batilda Bergdorf's attic. Let's see here. At this point, Felix lost his mind briefly. Just kind of had a breakdown in front of Lokexius and Petra.
one of many.
One of many, but the first of many.
AB's first breakdown.
I just imagine the video of the guy dressed as the Grinch in the yoga class. Starts screeching, "Sir, are you okay? I'm a little messed up."
So then at this point, you guys had the tryouts for the the job to escort the caravan to Bright Hollow. You were successful in the tryouts and you were awarded the job. You met Jasper Kuhn, who was the wagon master that was driving the wagon that you guys were accompanying, which you guys were kind of the bait. You were leading out in front of the rest of the caravan to draw out any brigands that might be keeping an eye out on the highway. And then you guys leave. You guys left Elmswain behind, heading toward Bright Hollow, came across something called the Pogglemar Farm, which you guys had remembered from one of the postings in the job board in Elmswain because they had a sick daughter and they were asking for a healer. Upon examining the Poglemar farm, it was revealed that all of the inhabitants of the farm had been zombified, and you guys had your first owlbear fight. After which, having survived that, you found a journal from Muriel Poglemar, which kind of laid out a written history of their daughter becoming inflicted with the zombie curse and eventually succumbing to it, and plans for a funeral for her, at which point it abruptly cut off because so did their lives. Continuing on the road, you reached Sheridan, where
Real
you-
quick, didn't Emma pet the owl bear? Did we actually fight it? Wasn't that the one she pet?
No, Emma tried to tame and pet the owlbear, but then she almost got mauled to death.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Emma did originally try to pet the owlbear, which I believe I think that was the genesis of we have to take care of Emma because she doesn't know what the hell she's doing, which has persisted long past the point that she actually knows what the hell she's doing. So yeah, I think that's where that came from, where everybody is kind of overprotective of Emma because she tried to pet the owlbear. Let's see here. At this point, you guys arrive at the Lamplighter Inn in Sheridan, making the acquaintance of the cook, whose name was Roshan Husp. Oh, hold on just 1 second, guys. My phone is ringing. I'll be right back. Okay, so long story short, you guys found out that Roshan Husp was a mass murderer who had murdered Faylis Foggywood on her way through Sheridan. You found his kill room underneath. Revealed that the Lamplighter Inn was a front for a criminal organization known as the Crimson Reach.
Was this the one where we ate people soup?
The soup was
Yeah.
people, yes. Because the Lamplighter Inn was famous for its turtle soup, and the temptation of Morlo being in the inn was simply too great that he could actually, like, he had been killing his victims and turning them into cooking them in the turtle soup the whole time, but then had an opportunity to kill two birds with one stone and have turtle and person in one. So it was just too great of a temptation for him. Also, the back half of the caravan was delayed in arriving in Sheridan because one of the horses had a split hoof. So you guys had time to kill while the horse was on the mend before you ended up leaving again. At this point, Felix meets an archaeologist slash anthropologist by the name of Salome, who believes that a site of historical significance known as the Tomb of Neomachius is nearby, directing you guys to an old abandoned graveyard, from which point Xanthion should have been capable of tracking his tracks to this abandoned cave that he believes to be the Tomb of Neomachius. At this point, over a course of a few days, Xanthion disappeared from the party and then reappeared falling out of the fireplace in the Lamplighter Inn. So at this point, Xanthion is reunited with the party. The party sets off, finds the old abandoned graveyard, and are beset by carrion crawlers. Dispatching the carrion crawlers, the party then sets about exploring the remains of the ruins of the graveyard, at which point Foss, heading off on his own, has the poor experience of finding one remaining carrion crawler in the mausoleum, who unfortunately dispatched our dear beloved barbarian. Foss was buried in the cemetery before the party moved on, continuing their search for the Tomb of Neomachius. Finding the Tomb of Neomachius, revealing it to be infested with Grimlocks, who are then dispatched. Finding that deeper into the Tomb of Neomachius,
The Grimlocks is where Emma got the bag of holding.
correct, that is where Emma got the bag of holding. Continuing on into the tomb, a secret door reveals a laboratory facility of some sort, of a different and much more recent architecture than the rest of the tomb.
We cheesed your puzzle with dirt.
Yes, that was very that was great, because I built that dungeon without any thought of how are you guys going to get past this. I just kind of let you guys play through it, and you guys were very
Creative.
ingenuitive.
Some might say we did you dirty.
Oh, that's terrible.
Let me guess. Felix takes 5 psychic damage.
No, not 5. What's your hit point total?
I look out and I see Shannon's headlights are in my driveway. Okay.
You take your hit point maximum times 1.5 in damage.
No, you're about to take damage IRL, bro. You better run.
He's like, this is a really different kind of combat, and you just hear a shotgun behind you.
Oh god.
Hi,
you
Michael.
doing in the-
Vsauce here, behind you.
How'd you
Sneak
get it?
attack.
Why are you in my house? Why are you in my house? I want waffle fries.
I want waffle fries. Oh, Ed's here.
Ed!
Woo!
Oh,
Hello.
Welcome, Ed.
Hello.
You're muted, by the way.
Oh no.
Hi, Ed.
Hey, life hack.
There
if you
we
don't
go.
own a cheese grater, a vegetable peeler will do just fine in a pinch. It just takes 5 ever, that's all.
5 ever.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
one more
coming to Aaron's Cooking Corner.
one more than
Indeed.
4.
Next, I'm going to set my oven on fire.
Um.
Well, I mean, not on purpose.
Okay.
I
that's
just know
fine then.
myself. Yeah, I just know myself. I'm a
Fun,
bad
man.
cook. Only the best intentions, but the worst results in my kitchen.
What about bad intentions and bad results?
Well, I save those dishes for when I'm having company.
Ah, yes, of course.
Mm,
Last night I set my oven on fire. Well, it didn't actually set fire. It was smoking a lot though.
It just got really close.
It got really close. Nah, just a
How'd you
minor
do that?
grease fire. It's fine.
yeah.
Some grease dripped down to the bottom of the oven.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, it
That
happens.
will do it.
Have you tried getting rid of the fire?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did. I got a bunch of water for my sink to put out the grease fire, and then I dumped the water into my oven,
Oh,
and then
God.
things got a little more toasty for like, a half a sec. But I had my fire extinguisher nearby, so it's totes fine.
It's
No one's
totes
dead.
fine yet.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
Dean.
Dean.
Hello,
Hi, bud.
Dean.
Hi.
Oi.
What's up?
What's going on?
How was your holiday?
Good. I got a drum set.
Oh, no way.
Oh, that's awesome.
Congrats.
That's
You
pretty
want to be in my band?
Sure.
All right. Anyone? I'm starting a band now. Anyone else want to be in my band?
I mean,
All
yeah.
right, Dean, it's just me and you. Oh,
Oh,
I'll be in your
Oh.
band.
can I play the
cool.
tambourine?
hell yeah.
Okay.
Dibs on
Can I
couch.
Play
play?
the radio for all I care.
Can I play the person in the corner who sometimes screams inconsolably?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love those songs.
I actually want, as long as you're okay with maybe, I mean, I'm holding auditions for that role, so there might be another person, but you're at the top of my list. I also do like to cry and scream inconsolably in the corner too, so we can always just switch up those roles.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can take
sometimes we
turns.
I mean, or I could play the harmonica. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, hyperventilate into a harmonica and you've got a song, baby. That's how I roll. All right, guys, pray for my oven. I've put a
Praying for-
casserole in.
Sweet Lord.
Pray for me.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Amen.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of
Hail
Christ compels
Mary,
you.
full of grace.
I
The
cannot
Lord be
remember
with my
what,
oven.
I cannot remember what show it was, but it's like the power of Christ compels you, and the character just looks at him and goes, "Really? Does it? It's not compelling."
Nice.
Not all
It's
that
not
compelling.
very it doesn't feel very compelling.
Oh, it was This Is the End with Jonah Hill and a bunch
Gotcha.
of comedians at the time.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Because Jonah Hill got possessed by the demon.
Really?
Really?
It doesn't feel...
Sorry.
Were you guys waiting on me to start?
No,
Oh,
we're
we're
doing
doing
a
a
recap.
recap.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't me. That's
It's
awesome.
our recap episode. When are we having our beach episode?
Are you going to jump a
Hmm.
shark? Is that why you want one?
I leave my decisions up to the dice.
Up to the Lord.
I mean, it was the dice that got him laid, so.
Oh, yeah.
I totally forgot about
Oh,
that. I was
I
so
love
confused for
that.
a second, and I'm like, I don't think Sam's with me because I have dice.
Yeah, you did. You just don't remember it.
I
Yeah,
totally
Said
so
forgot.
that,
Dean.
honey, I mean, if you wanna, and you're like, hang on a second, and you go, yeah, it's an 18, we're good.
Yeah, we were all rooting for him. In and out of game.
Yes.
So proud of you.
And now I'm a dad.
Mm-hmm. You've
He
joined the
rolled a
cult.
1. No, I'm kidding.
I'm
I'm glad these are on YouTube so you can go back and look at when you were sane, Santion.
When I was what?
Sane.
Sane.
You give him a lot of credit there.
I've started
Oh.
watching some of our older ones, and I'm like, wow,
Bye.
wow.
Bye.
Some of the
Speaking
older
of
episodes are
Laid.
really funny because we Shannon would disappear for like 10 minutes, and we'd all just sit there and crack jokes at him.
Good times. I always enjoyed going back and watching that on the video too.
We're like Critical
Mm.
Role, but our break is actually funny.
Right.
Wow.
Taking shots
Bold
at the crew.
statement
Yeah,
there.
critical-
I
Role.
mean every word of that. Their breaks are just kind of boring.
Ed, I am recording this, so welcome. I am recording this, so you will have your backstory, your everything that has happened up until now.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so that takes us to the Tomb of Neomachius, where the party found the zombified remains.
You
of
are breaking up.
Speaking of, while you were gone, we were reminded that Xanthion got laid. That was cool. We were all very
That-
happy for him still.
That happens in Bright Hollow on the
Yeah,
way
we were
to,
just
yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're reminiscing.
Petra
Uh,
also got laid if anyone's interested. Mhm.
Woo.
Anyone else get laid? Should we? Yeah, we got to recap all of the.
Actually,
Laid.
Petra was
got
the
laid
first.
Yeah, she got
Yeah.
laid. She had
Well,
a
yeah.
threesome in Bright Hollow. Or in,
Yep.
Hell yeah, she did.
In Elmsway.
Can't
that
resist
is
someone in
correct.
uniform.
probably got 2 Guards Corps members fired.
Oh, she robbed him blind.
Elmswain isn't a very tight ship. They probably just got, written up.
It's just like Mama's.
Wait, is that before or after the zombie horde came in?
See, that was before.
No, like I was saying, is like were they not a tight ship before or after the zombie horde?
Well, I mean, it's just they're right on the border of Trirexia and the Amber Vale, so it's pretty laid back, and it's also a brewing town. So just in general, the culture isn't super rigid. Okay, so that takes us out of the Tomb of Neomachius. Having at that point, you guys find the book that has in the corner of all of the really esoteric, like necromancy formulae. In the corner, there is just Verine ? So you leave the Tomb of Neomachius, get back to Sheridan, continue north to Bright Hollow, which you arrive at after an altercation with another band of mercenaries, known as the Ministry of Reapportionment, though I don't know that name ever actually came out in the session. And that was the encounter where you guys realized there was something weird going on in the Border Ethereal, because the wizard of that party blinked out, and when he blinked back in, he was like torn to shreds.
Oh yeah.
To ribbons, you say? How's his wife? To shreds, you say? So yeah. So anyway, at that point, you
Didn't
guys
we meet the wand goblin thing too?
that was, I believe, yeah, at some point in there, you guys met the goblin, the Nilbog with the
Wand of
wand of purple
Gamelon.
heart. Yeah.
We also
Um,
almost fought a Manticore.
Yep. Also on the way to Bright Hollow. You guys sacrificed a horse to avoid combat with the Manticore.
Hell yeah.
R.I.P. Seabiscuit.
Horrifying.
So then arriving in Bright Hollow, after dispatching the would-be highwayman, that is when Felix and the rest of the party made the acquaintance of Golub and Viper, who were kind of given the commission that, hey, we're going to give you a chance to fly straight here. It's the back half of the caravan coming up. Help them get to Elmswain behind us. Then you guys arrived in Elmswain you arrived in Bright Hollow for Odic Fest, which is the annual meeting of the bards. Several key NPCs met in Bright Hollow during Odic Fest. The most important of which also was inarguably Flurgan Flarneywoop, the drunken gnome that was hanging off of the shell of Morlo. really that he is the linchpin of the entire campaign. You guys just haven't put it together yet.
His name was Slunkin' Flarney Whoop.
Yeah.
No, I was expecting you to go, no, Slunkin' Flarney Whoop.
No, Flurgan Flarney Whoop. Also at this point, we've been playing for 4 years. It's never officially come out. I will just let you guys know in Zekarist, all male gnomes have one last name, Flarney Whoop.
What?
All male gnomes have one last name, Flarney Whoop. The differentiation between different family lineages inside the gnomish race is like delineated by the number of times that the letter A repeats in Flarney Whoop. Because you guys remember, I think it was like six A's in Flurgan's last name, but I think you guys did meet another gnome that the joke was, you said, "Oh, your last name's Flarney Whoop," and he said, "No, it's Flarney Whoop," and it's because you have to grow up speaking the Elvish or the gnomish tongue to understand the nuances and get it. But yeah, so it's like all male gnomes are Flarney Whoop with a differing number of repeating A's, and all female gnomes are Tiffaweiss with a different number of repeating Y's. So yeah. So then Bright Hollow, how much do you guys remember about Odic Fest?
Fair enough.
I remember we got most of us signed up for like
Security detail
security detail. We
to
got
make an
those,
extra 100
like,
gold, and you got the pendants of messaging, which were kind of like a nerfed sending stone that
God,
only worked inside.
getting paid for 100 gold seems like such a pittance now.
But it was by far the most gold you had made at the time.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember the whole Varine Manor debacle was for a 50 gold contract.
Well, 50 gold for one performance would have been an actual good gig if that had been all that the madam was after. So anyway, Odic Fest, you guys really did meet the core group of the important NPCs in this campaign thus far that you have met. You met the custodians of the Bardic colleges, including Dylan Fiasco, whom you guys actually did meet on the way to Bright Hollow. He passed you guys riding on a donkey by himself. And I do remember because Isaac said, "Now watch this guy be somebody super important when we get to Bright Hollow." And I was just like, he called it. He called it. But yeah, so you met Dylan Fiasco, the custodian of, I'm sorry, what kind of a bard is Petra?
Eloquence.
Eloquence, yep. Custodian of Eloquence. You met Syncope, the
I thought you
tiefling
were a
bard.
glamour bard.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. The
College of Eloquence.
Yep. The College of Glamour did heavily court her to try to join their college, but no. You met Syncope, the female tiefling custodian of Glamour. There was the dwarf who fought with two long swords. That was a College of Swords, spoke with a Russian accent. Uxin Pavel, the very dry and droll custodian of lore. And Numenot Hyacinth, the custodian of of Rundamar, the College of Whispers, who turned out to be a changeling, just like Titus, whom you had rescued from the heart of the tomb of Neomachius. One more, you met the custodians of the Bardic colleges. You also met the keepers of Bright Hollow, including Lilith Willowwind, Xanthion's love interest. Let's see here. Fimulus Moss Blossom, the druid that spent most of the fest wild shaped into a pig in the Catch the Greased Pig pit.
Weirdo.
Which Emma let out at one point.
And then it became Catch the Greased Man.
Which is weird.
Because it actually was already Catch the Greased Man, but you know, whatever. and I can't remember her name, but that one keeper that was the female high elf that was the warlock to the Queen of Air and Darkness that took a real shining to Emma. It was also at this point that Malof revealed to Emma that he was now the King of Air and Darkness, which the assumption among the party was that he had somehow deposed or killed the Queen of Air and Darkness, but nope. Wedding bells are ringing. It turns out that they are happily married. And one last important NPC that was met at Odic Fest was Obed Valaxian, who is the head of an organization known as the Vigilant Wardenry that is constantly watching out for outside threats to Zekrist.
This is where Titus met the leader of the Shadows.
Yep, Numenot Hyacinth,
Yeah.
custodian of the College of Whispers.
And then at the end of Odic Fest is when Titus found out that he was, what was it?
You
he
sold the Ring of Mind Shielding to Dylan Fiasco, who then proceeded to inform at some point informed Titus that there was a soul in the ring. Also revealed that Titus revealed his true nature as a changeling. It was revealed that Octavius House was associated with some dirty dealing, including being associated with the Merciless, which was the organization that had taken Morlo captive as a slave in his backstory.
Is this when Milo cut his finger off to remove
Yes.
the ring?
Yep, to remove the ring.
Could you basically go through that scenario like before?
Yep, it was at that point that Titus realized he could not remove his Ring of Mind Shielding, that it was somehow something that tied him to his house, so he asked Morlo to cut it off.
Titus asked Morlo to cut it off because Morlo was about to bite his head off when he found out everything.
Well, it didn't have identifying marks or something on it. I recognized the ring.
How
did I know?
You recognized
Eye color,
that
maybe?
You recognized because at some point it was when Numenot Hyacinth revealed himself to also be a changeling. He was trying to warn you guys about the wrath that the party was going to incur by going against Octavius House, and it was revealed that they were dealing with the Merciless, that Octavius House had ties to the Merciless. So then
and then that's when Morlo almost bit my head off.
Yep.
And then I was like, you can cut my finger off.
That's right.
Let's see here. It is also some point around here that Felix took his dip into Warlock and swore an oath as a Hexblade.
I think after this, or no, a little before this was also when Emma started dipping into Druid.
Yep. So then at the end of Odic Fest, the wagon, the coach carriage from Verine Manor shows up, pulled by the team of Nightmares. You guys, the rest of the party meets Davalor Detlev for the first time, and you are skirted off to Verine Manor. Is there anything about the Verine Manor arc that you guys need refreshed in your minds?
The only thing I want to say is I found the name of that keeper. It's Ninier Elsinane.
Yes, Ninier Elsinane. Thank you.
Yeah.
That is she was the one who was the warlock to the Queen of Air and Darkness. Okay. So then the Verine Manor arc, which was the arc immediately preceding the Wellsgrove arc. Anybody have any questions about that?
Not really.
Is Dave in a better place?
Hell.
Does the ground count?
His soul, damn it.
Yeah,
All right.
which level of hell did he go to?
Oh, Jesus.
He's taking the river tour, the architecture tour. He's just sailing down the river Styx through all the layers.
Oh,
Lazy rivering.
Long story short, it was Madame Verine who let you guys know that Phaedron Corvain was possibly in Wellsgrove, and had ties to some laboratory there. There was, of course, the moment where Emma, wearing the Ring of Invisibility, died, and the Madam not tricked, but using the fact that you did not have a diamond in your possession for Revivify, offered a diamond to cast Revivify on Emma in exchange for your loyalty to her. At which point you guys became the indentured servants of Madame Verine. Performed and served during the soiree, at which point Madame Verine was attempting to form a coven with 2 other hags. At the culmination of which, those of you that were under the Madam's glamour were told to bring Emma forward to the Green Hag as part of the bargain that was struck to form the coven. And just when it looked like the party was about to tear itself apart, you were rescued by a rescue party of Dylan Fiasco, Syncope, Talavan Ryanmar, Sir Hilda Undine, and Lokexius, and Tanea, the bard, the bard from the College of Spirits. Oh yeah, it was at this point that Felix tanked the full 3 attacks from a pit fiend.
Oh yeah.
Like a Chad.
Hey, don't forget, I had a little bit of a disagreement with a rug not long before that.
That's true. Tank a pit fiend
I-
failed by a rug.
Well, I'd
You're a
also
rug
say
burrito.
that I had quite a disagreement with the same rug.
That
So-
rug was awful. It almost took down Lokexius too.
Dude, that Bard
those-
almost went for.
Man, those Persian rugs have that design on them, and they kind of mess with your eyes, and soon before you know it, you're stuffed. Like, what happened?
I can't believe a rug almost TPK'd.
Stuffed
Yeah.
like a cannoli.
Plot twist: the rug is the big bad.
We'd be fucked.
Okay, so you guys witnessed Talavan Ryanmar casting Wish to break all of the Madam's bargains, at which point those of you who were under her glamour witnessed these like levitating, flaming chains that illuminated in front of you, like rotating around you, just shatter, symbolizing all of her pacts being broken. The Madam then plane shifted away, at which point the party took the Verine Manor as your base of operations. And that was shortly thereafter when all of the surrounding villagers and people from the surrounding areas started coming to pay tribute, including that one young couple that tried to bring their firstborn child. And then it's about at this point that Numenot Hyacinth shows up again, pretending that to be Tanea, I think. But anyway, it's the whole thing where you guys have discovered the Gorgon in the stables. Numenot Hyacinth shows up to confront you guys about what was it? What was his point of contention? I can't even remember why he was
Numenot Hyacinth. Where did he show up at?
Verine Manor, because he teleported you guys. He showed up with a couple of archdruids and took you guys. Oh, that's right.
He was pissed at us because we took out Verine, and she was sort of stabilizing the entire area, wasn't it?
I don't think that was it. No, I don't think it had anything to do with Verine.
She escaped, right? She's
Verine
still on
did
the
escape.
land.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Verine is still on the land.
I think he was getting mad at Titus for revealing that he was a changeling.
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
he was just,
exposing Octavia.
that's right. That's what it was. He was like, he had given Titus a friendly nudge to knock it off in Bright Hollow, and when he didn't, he came back because that's when he teleported you guys all to the Shrouded Weald to Ryle Mora, and the reveal was that Kalis Lightcloak, the paragon of the elves, was still alive because the paragon that they thought was Kalis Lightcloak, who died during the confluence, was actually the paragon of the changelings. And the changelings and the elves had always been like close friends. So Titus realized where he had come from, which was the paragon of the changelings had been created when the Shadow Lord and the favored maiden consummated their love on the eve of the Rivening, before all of the gods disappeared. So then after that, you returned to Verine Manor, set things in order, and then proceeded to Sorvel with a brief stopover in Wellsgrove. Any questions about the Wellsgrove arc now that we are finishing it up?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how fucked is this town?
11. This town doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, this town's gone.
Dude, this town got wiped.
Yeah, this town.
They got season 7 of Buffy, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
Season
so
7
basically,
finale of Buffy.
imagine that, like, okay, so imagine that like there's this old, like, crazy doomsday prophet that is rambling around your hometown, and you think he's completely off his rocker, and then you find out that not only is he right about everything that he has been telling you, you realize that every core memory you have has been completely manipulated by whatever it is that is doing this thing, and your entire life is a lie that has been fabricated because you have lost people that are dear to you, that you
Oh my
don't even
gosh.
remember.
I hate when that
That was
happens.
fun. I remember that.
Yeah.
sounds like a weekend in Vegas.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a plot to a movie.
So yeah,
It really is.
I will just lay that on the table. It was not the zombies that ripped this place apart. The place ripped itself apart because everybody, when they realized that the false Hydra was real, they just went stark raving mad and basically just destroyed what was left of the town. Along the way, you guys make the acquaintance of Exegora Silvertongue on your way to Wellsgrove, and together dispatch crazy naked necromancy
Skull Dude.
Skull Dude. Yep. Heading down to the facility that was underneath the Pantheon, you guys realize that Gringalt was an agent of the Afflicted Communion. Over here, mysterious black hooded figures say that the Vessel of Slaughter has been reborn. Go down to the facility, get a list of names of people who have access to the facility, which include the director of the facility, known as the Omega Vector, the Dark One, Nimawar, the Cull Priest, who you guys have heard of before, because he's the head of the Afflicted Communion, Gringalt, and then you also realize that Emma is listed as, instead of being a visitor like everybody else, she is listed as test subject.
Oh yeah.
At this point, also, Emma has dispatched Phaedron Corvain, who is a form of pact holder. In doing so, fully cements the Queen of Air and Darkness winning out over Maloth and essentially consuming him, taking all of his power, and then leaving the Queen of Air and Darkness as Emma's patron.
Also, I would also argue that more so than a warlock, Phaedron was also some sort of little fucking bitch.
It actually says that on the stat block. Creature type undead, subtype in parentheses, little fucking bitch. Okay, does anybody have any other questions about anything? I will. I know that
Shannon, I'm glad you did that because that's kind of what I was looking for. Like, I can remember some from stuff around that time was kind of important. So
Yeah.
thank you.
And I mean,
Yeah.
I know.
And I'll go
this
back
ended-
and watch what I missed, which is the
Yep.
main stuff I wasn't here for.
This ended up taking longer than I thought it would. It ate up our first hour of session time, but do you guys feel more up to speed about the path
Yeah.
to this point? Okay.
I thought this would be the reason I suggested it was like because I thought it would be a really good way since we've had like so many really long breaks. I thought it'd be a really good way to get more into character and